So I've been in Changing Futures since its beginning in December, so we've been operating for about 6 months now. I would say the greatest win has been having a bit more time to build relationships with clients. I'm a senior social worker, but I still out a bit meeting clients, and I think what's been really positive about the team has been the amount of time that social workers and community support workers have been able to spend having face-to-face and hands-on work with service users.
One of my clients, she was completely alcohol dependent when I started working with her, and through the past few months she's managed to detox time, and we're making a lot of future plans around getting contact back with her daughter. I think the main difference from other services that she's worked with was having the consistency of one person, and Changing Futures has allowed me to have the time to meet with her more often in a week. It can be just going for a coffee and a catch-up, and I think that's been the biggest difference in why she feels more hopeful in the future, because she feels quite held and protected.
I think just really getting to know all the clients and getting to meet them on a level, and like seeing who they are outside of like substance use or homelessness, and finding like common ground, to being able to have like a laugh and a joke and like help them see that there's life outside what they're going through.
Working with a client homeless for 21 years, extremely mistrustful of all services, didn't engage with services. So the reason I was able to, I mean, he's now in accommodation, but the reason I was able to do that was the fact that I could spend time with him building that relationship, which I wouldn't have had in a standard homeless prevention officer role.
I've been working with a client and he's got the same routine, doesn't venture further than Hove, just goes from home to Hove and back again. Managed to get him onto a bus, and we went to the marina, somewhere he hasn't visited for years and years, even though he used to live on that side of town. We had a bit of a walk around. We had a game of mini golf. But it was great just to see his world open up, and it opened the door to him being more open to exploring more parts of the city.
So I think one of the biggest wins for me has been the ability to relationship build. You know, I've been meeting with clients that have had like a lot of mistrust with services, especially in domestic abuse. People are fearful to engage because they're worried about facing consequence. But something quite unique about Changing Futures is, you know, we've got the personalisation budget, we've got the resources to be quite creative and flexible when it comes to working with clients.
I think the biggest win for this has been clients actually looking forward to spending time with me and carving a bit of time out of their day. It's not just coming for a schedule or a meeting, it's actually wanting to work with me. It's nice to have that feeling reciprocated.
I think one of the wins was seeing the improvement in my clients' trust. So a lot of our clients have had bad experiences with services. A lot of them are care leavers and being removed from their families. And over time, we've managed to kind of build up trust with the clients through a lot of relationship-based practice. Yeah, so one of my clients, because of the nature of our engagement and the fact we prevented him from being homeless, he often says, you know, people speak fine words, but until they back it up with actions, I simply won't trust them.
I think for me, it is about seeing people gain hope again. So many people come into this and they're not sure whether they're actually able to ever, you know, have a normal life again or ever feel that they want one.
I've been really lucky with my team. So everyone that's been employed to work within our service has just got an incredible ethos and a desire to work with this client group and look at ways to promote better outcomes for clients experiencing multiple complex needs.
Do you know what I mean? We're all in the same office, so if I have a query or You know, a crisis happened with one of my clients. I don't need to email a team and wait 7 days to have a reply and wait for it to be allocated. I can simply ask the question to my colleague that sat next to me. Whether
I think more generally, I think the team itself is like a massive win. I joined adult social care just before the team has started, so I've had the opportunity to see it grow from being just a few of us to now the team as is, with more people even starting to join. I think the MDT itself, being able to have all of the different professionals sitting in one room, bouncing ideas off in the office every day, not having to go to different organisations or emails or whatever, you've just got people sitting beside you and around you who can offer their expert advice and support in their different area of expertise. I think that's really beneficial.
I do really believe in the MDT structure. I think it's a really innovative way to work with other professionals in different fields, and it takes away a lot of the barriers of communication when working with clients.
I think the biggest win for me has been finding that there are some services who are quite happy and good at working well with other services. There's the whole MDT concept, but not just within Changing Futures, but there are some services outside of Changing Futures who are really work in a really constructive manner with us. I think that's been quite effective at supporting some of our clients. Yeah, I think the challenges have been about finding appropriate accommodation for people. We're working with a lot of people with mental health issues, substance misuse issues, acquired brain injuries, and I think the accommodation that we have in Brighton, while very good, I don't know that the high support accommodation is high enough support for some of the clients that we have, and actually doesn't possibly take into account some of the health conditions that they're living with. And I think as a city we're failing a lot of our clients.
I'd say the main challenge that is a more systemic challenge is the ability to find housing for people. I think there are times where we've needed to place people out of the area, or it looks like we need to, and that means that people will not be able to sustain their kind of relationships with their peers and their friends and their family.
To look at long-lasting system change within Brighton, and hopefully to work on a sustainability plan that means after the Changing Futures funding we are able to continue this work, because we have had some really positive outcomes with clients.
I think for the future I want to be able to feel like we've made like a long-term impact. The funding is only going to last so long, most likely. But I feel like whenever Changing Futures, whatever it looks like, whatever the ending looks like, that we feel like we've made a difference long term. I'm always conscious of like endings and not feeling like people have just been left, like they've had such intensive support for X amount of time and they just feel like they've been left or like abandoned. I want to make sure that whenever we do end, whether that's because the programme's ended or because just we feel like someone can be supported by mainstream services, I want to be able to kind of feel like that we've left them in a place that they feel supported and they don't necessarily need our support anymore. I think it's more, I'm just thinking more long term and the impact that we can have on people.
For my role, when I think about my role, I think more about the actual peer support team itself. My hope is that in time we'll be able to move beyond one-to-one peer support work and create a real recovery community for Changing Futures clients. And ideally that can become embedded and connected into the communities that already exist in the city.
Okay, so one of the biggest challenges is supporting people who require money management. The existing service in Brighton is really, really good, but they're not taking any new clients, and I don't think they have in about a year and a half. And I think at the present time we are trying to build a case and put forward a very long list of our clients to look into funding some money management support.
I've got 2 clients that suffer with hoarding disorder, which is linked very closely to substance misuse and mental health. Yeah, got a real interest in hoarding and how to support people, and I think the biggest thing I've learned is how to explain it to other professionals, whereas having a professional that has some knowledge about that is able to explain to housing and landlords that this isn't a quick fix.
In being able to rethink the way that we measure peer support. I've been really fortunate to have the support of the Commissioner and also of the kind of wider Changing Futures team to really, I guess, try and make sure that when we're reporting back on peer support that we're actually capturing some of that more meaningful qualitative data about the impact of the relationship, not necessarily just about kind of numbers of engagement or symptom reduction.
Never gonna give